Advancement Center in beautiful Guanacaste, Costa Rica. And man, Costa Rica is a beauty, and this place is amazing. What is Rythmia? Rythmia is a life advancement center. People come in one way and they check out a different way. It's a 1-week program. Lots of people have been through here. About 22,900 people have gone through this program. 98.06%. So that's 98 out of every 100, 980 out of every 1,000. 980 out of every 1,000 people say they had a life-changing miracle during their stay. The best part is 90.22% at the end of 6 months, people get another survey, and 90.22%, so 922 out of 1,000, say that this was the week that changed their life. Because of this, we get people from all over the world. Every single week, I have people from coming to Costa Rica, from Dubai, from Abu Dhabi, from Australia, from England, from France, from Spain, from Portugal, from all over, from Africa, from China. I have 4 people this week from China. All over the world to this little place in Costa Rica. And what type of people come? Well, normal people like you and me. And then A-listers from all different walks of life. So actors, actresses, musicians, tons of athletes. Athletes love this. Billionaires, business people, restaurateurs, just about everybody from all walks of life, and normal people like you and me. Sometimes these people have such an amazing experience that they want to lend their name, become part of the Rythmia movement, and join the board. Some of those people: Kelly Slater, the world's greatest surfer, Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer, and additionally, one of the most 100 recognizable faces in the world, right? Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith, the founder of Agape, right? And co-author of the book, The Secret. Ron White, the comedian, the amazing comedian. Perhaps you caught him on Joe Rogan or Two Bears in a Cave talking about Rythmia and his involvement, and many, many others that have joined the board. So on our board right now, there's about 12 people, and they're all super unique from different walks of life. Martin Luther King's son, Martin. Frank Biden, Joe Biden's brother, on our board of directors, right? So why do these people lend their names to this place? Because this thing really works, and it really does work. Why does it work? Well, it's a unique combination of modalities that converge to your 1 week that have this effect that's greater than the individual parts. So what am I talking about? Well, it's ayahuasca 4 nights. It's breath work. It's meditation. It's yoga. It's 20 hours of workshops where you really get to understand how the stuff works and how it affects your life. It's farm-to-table organic food, a wonderful spa, the cleanse, all of these things happening during this week. And people leave changed people. They are forever changed as a result of their week here. Now, the overwhelming vast majority, into the 90 plus percentile of people, once this happens to them, once they experience talking to God and God talks back to them, that they realize that God has been talking to them their whole life, and now they can tune in to hear it. Once they had this experience of gratitude that humbles you to tears, of freedom like you've never felt before, and I mean a true freedom, not a spiritual bubblegum freedom, not a spiritual bypass, but a real I got it, I cleansed it, I merged, and I'm going forward. That kind of freedom, then, like I said, the overwhelming vast majority of people in the high 90s of percentile decide that they want to become a beneficial presence on the planet. And all that means is they want to leave the earth and the people whom they touched in better shape than when they found it. That's it. And then in so doing, in that process of becoming a beneficial presence, the higher and bigger we shoot for, the harder and more interesting that journey becomes. And a lot of us choose really big. We choose really big after we have this thing. Now, I want to talk a little bit today about what ayahuasca uncovers, what the week at Rythmia uncover, and what is this like newfound freedom and joy. And I'm not going to use the word joy because it's overused and misunderstood. I'm going to use the word of fulfilled or contentment. But what is this feeling like, and where does it come from? Well, and why is it so hard to get in other venues and other forms? Why is it so hard? And why don't we naturally stumble upon it ourselves? Okay, so let's put all that in a bucket and let's just take a look at it. So what you get, and I'm going to give you an example, what you get at Rythmia is not, an awareness, I cheated on my test, or my girlfriend, or my wife, or my husband. And it's not even the why that I cheated. Because the why that I cheated is the outpicturing of something even deeper. And I want to tell you what this kind of looks and feels like. It's the thing that you would never admit to yourself. It's something you know in kind of a twilight state or a subconscious state or on the verge of conscious and subconscious. It's out there more leaking towards the subconscious state because the ego, if the ego ever admitted this thing was there, it doesn't understand what it might do to itself. So it's a real interesting, real slippery thing. Is it easily found in conventional therapy? It's discoverable. It's usually discoverable after many, many, many years of therapy. What does it look, smell, and feel like? Well, it's not the thing that made you cheat. It's not the thing that made you drink. It's the thing behind the thing. And that usually is, I'm not enough in a particular, very personal way. And that was caused by something, either past life or something in the very infancy of our being on this planet. So it's the thing before the thing. And that is what makes it so difficult to get to, because all of our guards are set up to keep us from that particular thing. All of our known guards are, and even some of our unknown guards are designed to keep us from it, right? So we're being held captive by a warden that only wants us to see certain things, that keeps that warden in charge. It's a really wild thing. It's super, super, super wild. And sometimes over the course of our life, we'll get to it, because during the course of our life, we will be given the same villain that makes us respond in the same way. until we get so sick of that villain that we open a gate that allows this thing to be healed. Now, you can do it by intense self-reflection. You can do it through all these things, all these different ways. And then the knowing of it is 20% of the battle. The knowing of it, meaning, oh, now I know that I've been afraid of this inadequacy, this perceived inadequacy that has made me act in a particular way, Okay, now that's a conscious knowing. So to move it from a conscious knowing to a real knowing, and then for that real knowing to be healed, those are the tricks, right? That's all of the tricks. Now that happens in this week here, and that's why it's the most difficult week. And I say this, and I don't mean this lightly. I mean this literally, that this can be, for the majority of people, the hardest week that they've ever experienced in their life, because they get introduced to that thing that they would never admit to themselves. That's the truth. Now, interestingly enough, that when that thing gets healed, so we call it a soul merger and then a heart healing. When those two things happen, one would think, oh, then that person just turns into a sage or a monk and just experiences life and kind of disengages and is just like ever present in life as this beauty. But usually that's not what happens. Usually what happens is that freedom and detachment from the things that you were connected to, the lack of that being there. So the lack of attachment and this infusion of freedom makes you on fire for the world, for God as you perceive it, for the world, for the creator, for this, for that. And then that drives you to greater community, greater interaction, and a greater need and desire to help others. That's where that leads to. That in and of itself is the miracle of rythmia. And that is the thing that can't be replaced. There's no way to reproduce that feeling of a wholeness, that it feels so whole that it has to give rather than get. It's an amazing thing. And so in my life, I've had some great excesses. So I had a very, very, very broken past, and I was super lucky in business where, I managed to have a couple of $100 million capital events. Yes. But that only fueled my disenchantment with life. It didn't fix it. It fueled it. I became worse at these things. A worse alcoholic, a worse drug addict, a worse person who disliked people, right? So the miracle is, the flip of that is that, X amount of years later, no drugs, no alcohol, no cigarettes, no nothing, great relationships with my children, who one of them lives and works with me here. My children, my ex-wives, both of my ex-wives, my family, every relative, not a broken relationship, not one. That's the miracle of this. And that happens from the intensity of this week. And it is super, super, super intense. So if you're ready, if this sound called to your soul, or if you've been here and you want to come back and because I'm going to show you what tends to happen. So initially, this first movement, this merger and heart healing, they have the biggest impact. And then every year that goes by, you take on a little more, your soul gets a little dirty, and you come and you clean it up and you reinsure that contact, and then you go and get more little pieces, and this is a cumulative thing where it keeps getting better. So if you've been here and that rung true to your soul and it's time to come back, please come back and visit me. If you've never been here, do not worry about what you perceive yourself as and the failures of your past. Don't worry about it, because this body, this thing that we have, this life is renewed and renewable. It's brand new again. You can be absolutely brand new again. Please come and visit us at Rythmia. I'd love to meet you, and I'd love to see you here. God bless you. God keep you. God hold you. And we will see you next week.